You know, he is aware of his surroundings. He had to act, but he acted with total self-control, was totally within himself, and did what he had to do to, you know, I think we're going to find out that he saved probably multiple lives by acting so quickly as he did.
What are officers trained to do in that situation?
Well, you know, every situation's different. That's what's so tough. But, you know, the first thing you have to do is you have to eliminate the threat. If you don't stop the threat, then, you know, why are we here? But you have to do it as safely as you possibly can at the same time. It's, you know, it's about as difficult as a situation as a policeman can be put in. And early indications are, as this policeman acted about as superior as you could ever imagine. So, yeah, it's just, again, I think it's going to be a proud day for Cincinnati police, not such a proud day for the city of Cincinnati.
How critical is that training in this situation when you have so many crowds already down here in this area on a typical Saturday night?
Well, you know, training is everything, and if these officers aren't trained properly, then they can't address something as crazy as this was. And you know, that's the bigger story here is we have crowds and we don't have enough policemen routinely working to deal with it. You know, this is groups of policemen down here in overtime trying to deal with this the crowd situations and the violent situations that pop up with the crowds.
Now, what is your estimation of this neighborhood? Obviously, it's gone through a really big shift in the past 10 to 15 years, but is this as abnormal as it appears to be?
Well, you mean the incident, is that abnormal?
In terms of like the incident, but also like the level of crime?
No, I think although there's a lot of great things that's happening and the OTR has been happening for the last couple of decades, there's still some huge crime problems down here. You can't guarantee anybody's safety anywhere, but down here there's still a lot of folks getting victimized and a lot of violence. And the crowds on the weekends, and I've talked to business owners, have been, you know, just completely out of control and extremely hard to deal with, and especially with the personnel issues that the Cincinnati Police Department has. These issues are very difficult to deal with. So, you know, thankfully there was some extra police officers down here last night, but this problem is going to continue and needs to be addressed, obviously, with more and more personnel. And, you know, again, I think we just need to take a look at law and order in all of Hamilton County, how the judges respond to people on charges, how people go through the revolving door of the justice system here. All this comes together, and you have a disrespect for law and order and a disrespect for, you know, civil behavior when people are in mass.
It's, of course, still early. Is there anything that you could say that this should have been handled any differently at all, or, you know, any different type of response, or is that kind of what you're speaking to, just with the fact of if there were more personnel, then perhaps you are better equipped in certain situations like this?
Well, no, what I'm getting early on here is that the police officers and police officer involved here, they couldn't have performed any better. What I'm talking about is city and police administration's way of dealing with the crowds and the disorderly behavior down here. That there has to be some long-term plans, and again, it goes back to personnel issues. We're going to have to hire, we're going to have to train, we're going to have to retain. We're probably going to have to come up with a way to retain more police officers, because like 250 of the little over 900 that we have right now could retire tomorrow. So you're going to have to give them a reason to stick around, and I think that's something that we need to be talking about real soon.
Dan, thank you so much. That is Dan Hils with the Fraternal Order of Police. Again, he was giving us some more perspective on what the officer was trained to do in that situation, and as he described it, showed that high level of skill and restraint to the officer himself to not fire into